Hello positive readers, it's Positive Writer here today with another video, and today I'm going to be telling you about my favorite books of 2018. I am so happy and satisfied with this reading year. I have had the best time ever. I've read some phenomenal books, and today I'm going to be telling you about my favorites. I've compiled a list. I'm not really sure how long the list is, so I forgot to count, and I've been adding books too because I've recently been reading a lot of good books. So I'm probably not going to start counting until like the top 5 maybe, because the top 5 are really good. But anyway, let's just start, because this is probably going to be kind of long because I need to talk about all these books individually because they're amazing. So the first book on my list is Pseudo New Sabotage by Cindy Anstey. I loved this book. I read this in I don't even remember. I think it was April or something, and I loved it. I got it out of my first book box ever, and it was the Lit Joy Crate box, and it was called Something and Deception, I think. But it was amazing, okay, because basically what it was a box themed around stuff from the 1800s, stuff from historical stuff. And this is set in the 1800s, and it's a historical romance, contemporary novel, and I freaking loved it. I bought the box on a whim because I had never bought a book box before, and I was like, I think I'm gonna really like this, and if I don't, then I just don't, but I will spend this money for the slight chance that I will like it, and I loved it. So, I love it. It deserves to be on this list because it's amazing, and you should read it too. It's really cool. It has a love triangle in it. It's really nice. It's done well. It's cute, funny. I loved it. The next book on this list is There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. I freaking love this book. First mystery book. I think it's the only mystery book I read this year, probably ever, but I freaking loved it. I picked it up during the BookTubeathon because this year, instead of actually picking up stuff that I had wanted to read that was on my DVR or whatever, I picked up a whole bunch of random stuff, and I think I'm going to continue that trend because I ended up reading not more. Not more, because last year I ended up reading the amount of books I was supposed to read too, and I picked stuff that I actually wanted to read. But still, I feel like it's better if I don't pick up stuff that I really want to read, because then I get the chance to look at something I might not have picked up. Anywho, I picked it up, not only if I would like it or not, and it was a mystery. It was pretty short, but I loved it. It was super diverse, main characters of POC. It just has so much greatness attached, and no one ever talks about it. I don't know why. It's amazing. I really enjoyed it. It was a good mystery. I really did enjoy it, and I'm glad I have read it. Okay, so the next book is The Midnight Duel by Richelle Mead. Richelle Mead is one of my favorite authors ever. She wrote Bloodlines, and so I had to pick up her next trilogy, which is called, the first book was The Glittering Court, and so the next book was The Midnight Duel. Basically, the trilogy is about these 3 girls. They're friends, but in each book is their life. So the first book was one of the girls' lives and her point of view. The next book was another girl. The next book was another girl. I haven't read the third one yet, but the second one was slap. It was amazing. The girl, she was so independent. And a lot of times when girls meet love interests in books, they all of a sudden go nuts and just forget every logical thought they had and start just doing the most crazy, unlogical, no common sense ever things. And it's tiring. I hate it. But I really enjoyed her character because she didn't do that. She never had any really plans to even get a love interest or whatever. And the whole book was really, really nice. It was super action-packed. The girl, as I said, was really, really cool. I really enjoyed her character. And Richelle Mead's just a really good author, so all her books are basically good, you know. Even if they're subpar, they're still good because it's Richelle Mead. The next book on this list is ahhhhhhhhhh, or A Quart of Mist and wow, I said wings, never. A Quart of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I read this earlier this year because I was watching a Witty Novels video on this, and basically she was doing a reading vlog, and I was a rat, and I didn't think I'd ever read the series, so basically I was not caring about spoilers, which she actually didn't spoil anything in the video, I don't think. But anywho, I was watching it, and she said she posted something that was a page, and I kind of read between the lines or whatever, and I was like, wow, this sounds like my brand. It sounds like something I might like. So I decided to pick up the series and try it out for myself, because even though I had heard generic things about it, I wanted to see for myself what it was and if I was gonna like it. So I did it, and ahhhhhhh was amazing. The first book was hilariously bad, and it was fine because it made me want to read the second one, which ended up being phenomenal. I loved it. Pharaoh snapped, Rhysand snapped, everybody snapped. It was a great story. I really enjoyed it. Shook it. I threw it across the room. It was amazing. The next book I read this month, wow, crazy. The next book I read this year that I loved was Alpha by Jess Accardo. This is the last book in the Infinity trilogy, and Entangled Teen since 2016 has been sending me these books every time they come out, actually like before they come out, and I have loved every single one of them, but this one took the cake for the best one. I really enjoyed it. It was so great, honestly. I was really shook. You could go watch my review because it was hilarious. And basically, it's really short. It was the last book, but it was great. I love the villain the most. He's my favorite character in all these novels, but yeah. And it was just a really good story. I really was satisfied with how this trilogy ended, and you should read it. It's science fiction, about like going in between dimensions, so you should pick it up. The next book I loved this year was Ruined by Amy Tintera. I read this book earlier this year and I freaking enjoyed it so much. It's one of my favorite fantasy novels ever because it was so unique. I feel like the characters are really ones that you don't see every day in fantasy novels, and especially because of all the generic fantasies I've been reading this year, I really enjoyed the characters and the book and the plot, and like it was not even a new plot. It was like royal infiltration, but I loved it. It was amazing. Loved the love interest, loved the main character. I just can't wait to continue this series because it's amazing. I'm sorry I sound like I'm losing my voice. I don't know what's going on. Now we're getting into the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so next one is the top 5. So the next book on this list is The Wicked Deep by Shia Earnshaw. I picked this book up. I got sent this book by Jake over at Jake Does Books. Thank you so much. Because we did Secret Santa and I loved it, and you can watch me unbox it in my vlog, my Week 3 vlog, I believe. I really, really love this book. The top 6 on this list are all so amazing that I literally love them to death. Like they're just, I love this one so much. I had to put it like lower. Not I had to, but like the other ones have some other stuff about it that I love it. But no, this book was so freaking good. I kind of feel like I should have put it higher, but it's fine. I didn't. I loved it. It's about this small town where the sirens are. These 3 siren sisters, and just read it. Just read it. I can't tell you anything else. It's mysterious. It's amazing. I cried. I laughed. I wanted to die at times, but it was amazing, and I freaking loved it. Thank you again to Mika August for telling me this was good, and I read it, and it ended up being just as good as you told me. Now we're getting into the top 5 books I read of 2018. I am so excited for this. Okay. The number 5 space, whatever, I don't know how to say that, is The False Prince by Jennifer A. Nielsen. Oh my god. Special thanks to that Disney chick, I think her name is, on BookTube. But yes, thank you so much to her for telling me that this was good, because this whole year I've been annoyed because I could not find any fantasy books about like boys becoming royals, or like royal infiltration by boys, or anything with boys with the main characters that I love, like anything royal related or anything. And you know, it annoys me. So I was like, where are these novels at? And this woman was like, read this. And I read it and knew it was phenomenal. I finished it like last week and I loved it to actual death. Like I honestly just had to stop reading several times and just be like, wow, I have never loved the book more. Like it was just so good. I honestly could read 30,000 novels like this and never get tired. But I love the main character. I love everyone. The characters are great. Everything's done really well. I really enjoyed this book. And it's a trilogy, so I can't wait to pick up the next ones in 2019. The next book, number 4, is The Cruel Prince. I don't even have it. Why did I act like I had it? The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This book snapped in every way, shape, or form. You can go watch my review on it. It was amazing. Jude is one of the best female protagonists I have ever read, ever. I love her so much. She just is the best. Because a lot of times she's one of those protagonists that, instead of being like the normal Mary Sue protagonist that goes and does all the good stuff and is just good or whatever, she wants to become like the villains of the story, and I literally love that about her. She's just amazing. Like, just go watch my review. I literally spend the entire however many minutes just talking about how much I love her. But yeah, it's about like this fairy world, and these 3 sisters, her and her 2 sisters, Jude and her 2 sisters, get thrust into this world. They have to get taken there, and they're humans, but everybody else is fae, and they have to live and stuff. And Jude is just the best person ever. I just love her so much. She's the best character. No one could ever compare to her. I'm just saying. The next book, number 3 on this list, is The Beauty of Darkness by Mary E. Pearson. I don't have that either, sadly. Hopefully one day I'll have all these books because they all deserve to be a part of my library. But this book snapped. It snapped the most, one of the most. It's so high on this list because I read The Kiss of Deception and The Heart of Betrayal in like 2015. But then I picked up this 3 years later, y'all. And I kind of have forgot the characters and what I shipped and who I liked and all that stuff. But it took me like 100 pages to get back into the world and to understand again what my feelings were about it. And then I was right back in, right back to craziness, right back to, oh my god, I'm shook, right back to just loving every minute, and I really enjoyed it. Like, it was the end of the series, trilogy, whatever, but I freaking enjoyed it so much. It was just like the best end of a series almost ever, and I loved it. It was just so amazing. It was so satisfactory, because it was like every time I kind of like voiced, like, oh my god, I hate this character, oh my god, I hate this ship, oh my god, whatever. It literally happened. Like, you think I'm joking, I'm not. Everything happened at the end that I wanted to happen, and it was so great. I highly recommend you picking up the series. It gets better with every book, and I just love it. It's just great. Okay. Top 2 best books of 2018. The second one we have is Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. Now this right here, this gigantic, thick girl right here, this is the best book that has ended a series ever in life, ever. I literally am so in love with this book because it snapped. It snapped in every way. Like, I expected this to be good, but it was more than good. It was just like everything I would have wanted and more. Literally, characters I hated became my favorites. It was just like the best end of a series ever. Like, I was ready. I was so excited for the epic fight scenes and this and this and this, and I just got all of it and more, and I literally adored it. You should watch my review, my vlog, all that stuff. I literally like had like a week or like a month of videos, and I literally just talked about Thunder Glass because of this book. And it was just amazing. The entire series is great. It gets better with every book until EOS. And then Tower of Dawn is like at the top. And then this. And it just ended so wonderfully. I just love the series and these characters so freaking much. And this book wrapped them up perfectly. So now, I'm gonna drop my phone because I know these top 2. The top book of 2018 was hilarious. I'm not an indecisive person. I hate that. I don't like being one of those people who are like, oh my god, I can't pick a favorite. I just have to pick a favorite. I don't know. I just don't like being in the middle of things. But anywho, this year, you know, I had to be a little exceptional because what happened was the books were just too good for me to choose between these two. So, I'm gonna hold them at the same time because I love them equally to death. These books are Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas and The Fates Divide by Veronica Roth. My top 2 favorite authors in the entire world. I love these books to death. I think I want to talk about this because this is my right hand, whatever. But The Fates Divide, I read it in freaking April. This is the second book to the Carve the Mark duology. And I was so scared to read it because some stuff happened in the first book that led me to believe that harm was coming to my favorite characters in this one. And I was so afraid. Like, I have videos at the beginning of this year talking about how afraid I was and how Veronica Ross kind of baited me in a comment one time. And I really was just having a heart attack. But I did my first reading vlog reading this book, and I literally enjoyed it so much. I cried at the end because it was so freaking beautiful. I just could not handle the greatness that this book offered to me. The characters are so unique, literally. Like, you think I'm joking? I think out of all of these characters are the most unique that I have mentioned in this list of books that I've read, because a lot of fantasy novels, this is not even a fantasy novel, it's like a fantasy sci-fi novel, but anywho, the main character, she's one of those, I don't really want to say anything, because like, they want you to read it, but like, the love interest is really soft. He's such a fetus, he's just adorable, and then the main character, she's like really hard and tough and whatever, but she's great, and they're both great, and they just go so well together, and I love them so much, and I love this duology. Veronica Ross truly snapped. Divergent is my baby forever, but this book is better than Divergent, and that's just my team. Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. Basically, I love this book so much, and I love it equally to The Fates Divide, because while The Fates Divide was the most unique thing ever, this was the most thing like me ever, and I always pride myself in the things that are like me, so I had to hold it up to as high of a pedestal as something that made me feel alive. So anywho, this book is the 6th, I think, book in the Throne of Glass series. It's low-key a novella, but no one cares, and it's a legitimate book, so no one cares. And it was shut up, and it was amazing. Sarah J. Maas truly stats with this. I was very excited after the trash of EOS to get into this because it's about my favorite character in the series, K.O. Westfall, and I was so excited to see him again and be like, where are you at? Because he wasn't in that book. He wasn't in EOS, of course, because it was so trash. You know, he could never be a part of that. Anywho, find my Rosie. But this book stepped more than I expected because I just thought it was going to be about K.O. and what he was doing, where he was going to get. I mean, I'm going to spoil it a little bit now because in order for me to talk about it, how I love it so much, you have to have read it. So I'll just put the cover on the screen and you can talk back when it's not there anymore. Anywho, basically this was about him going to get his legs back and to get an army for the people in you know, alien, all that. But anywho, so he went to the southern continent, and it was the most beautiful little experience ever, because basically I went into this book and he was so depressed. He was so like beaten down. He was basically like, he hated himself. He was guilty about stuff. He felt like he had failed, and it was just so bad. And I felt like exactly the same way as him. I was just like, dang, depression. But then throughout the book, he just had these moments where he just realized that all the stuff I was doing, you know, I can do better. Like, I'm not those things. I'm not my mistakes or whatever. And he just got better, and he started accepting himself. And I was just, oh my god, like, I cannot. This book, I did like a 30-minute review on it, and I literally rewatch it all the time because I just love this book so much. And it shows in the review. I literally, I love it. It's just the most beautiful little piece of work ever. Sarah J. Maas clearly stalked me when she wrote this book, because it's like about, like I said, accepting yourself. And he basically was just, he met Urine, which was a character from an earlier book in the series, and they were just the best soulmates ever. They had the most non-generic relationship of any Sarah J. Maas book ever, and I just love them. They were just the best people. Since their first meeting, I loved them to death, and I honestly could not love this book any more than I already do. I can't wait to reread it one day because it's just amazing. I cried so much while reading this and afterwards because it literally made me feel so good. Like, I had felt like he had felt at the beginning of the year. I was feeling how he was feeling in this book, and to be able to connect with that was really important. You know, I loved it. So, those were the books that I freaking loved in 2018. I hope you read some great books, because these books were a little bit greater than great for me. That has never happened before. Well, I mean, it kind of has, but these books just mean so much to me, and I feel like this year is the first year that books are actually like such an ingrained part of my existence this year. But anywho, I hope you had a great reading year. I hope you have a great 2019, even though it's like, hasn't even started yet, low-key. But anyway, I hope you have a great day, whatever. Bye.